I'm just working, man.
I know what my audience like. I did some independent films with Master P. A lot of those movies did really well.
I'm ambitious, I'm a hustler. I have my own lane.
That's the thing about comedy. You wake up every day, you don't know if you're funny that day.
Hey, what's good with you folks? Welcome to the program. Welcome to the show. This is Let's Go Live with Lamont King. I'm Lamont King, and we are now live. The time is now live. So let's go. Time is now live. Something like a podcast, hilarious commentary, trending topics, celebrity guests, and interesting people. Right here in the newly remodeled Drunken Fruit Studios inside Tiny Closet Command Center.
I don't care if it is a closet. You still looking mad efficient.
We try to get this done Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 6 p.m. to 7 East Coast time. Shout out to everybody watching on the West Coast right now. I see you. And worldwide. Our executive producer, Mr. Clarkson, down the hall in Studio G on his G vacation. Now his G-cation has just started. School's over. School's out. You should be hearing from him a little later. And was up to our New York Bureau Chief, John Watson, from All Fun and Games on Friday on assignment. How y'all feel? What's good with you? Good? Everything cool? All right. Sound good, man. I believe it. You know, if you say it. New people, welcome. Come on in. Sit down. Don't touch nothing. If you break it, you buy. Yeah, man. I had to call it Wypipo Wednesday, man. I was, combing these here interwebs for some topicry. And everything that was coming up with seemed to fit in a theme, man. We can't even make it to the end of the week, and they wilding. Couple of votes today in Congress that really showed a provocative level of whiteness, if you will. We're going to talk about it. You may already be familiar, and we can talk about whatever you want to talk about it, too. So anytime you want to get down with the program, jump on in. It's a live show. Don't trip. The phone number's right there, 765, let's go 1, 765-538-7461. And also, if your phone situation ain't working, you can always, I'm putting it in the chat right now, you can always just jump on the show. We're high tech. So there's that. All right, let's get into it, man. We're gonna watch something. It's got a little length to it. But we're gonna watch the whole thing. So today there was a vote in Congress where they were deciding whether or not to award police officers, Capitol Police officers, from the January 6th debacle, chaos, medals of honor. I think medals. Let me get that correct. I'm not sure if it was medals of honor, but something important. Yeah, Congressional Gold Medal. I think the Capitol Police as a whole, right? So they had a vote, and there were actually 21 whole Republican Republicans who were against it. Now, some of them gave reasoning, whereas they didn't agree with the language, which often happens. They said, since they don't think it was an insurrection, I can't sit there and vote to award somebody for defending the Capitol against insurrection if I don't think it ever happened. That's clever. That's white. Amazing. So this is what we're gonna do though. CNN went on they did a little piece, and true to form, they really laid it out there in case you had any questions on who these people are, why they voted that way, and a lot of times when you lay stuff out, you really see how foolish things are, and when you see it like written down and laid out and described, almost like a documentary on a news station. So let's just get into that real quick. We'll watch it, and taking your calls, and you want to make an appearance on the show, feel free. But here's the breakdown. This is CNN. We're gonna watch the whole thing. I think it's worth a watch. Maybe about 3 people in, you're gonna be upset. You're gonna be beside yourself. You're gonna be over it, and then realize that there's a lot more to go. So you're gonna muscle through it. That type of show. This is the trending topic portion of the show. There we go.
Almost 6 months since the insurrection at the Capitol, the House and Senate coming to an agreement that will award the Congressional Gold Medal to the officers who defended the building.
Oh, okay.
Seems like a layup, but not for 21 House Republicans. They just voted against it. These Republicans who find themselves in a pickle, how do you honor the heroics of the police in an event that you deny? Despite the facts, the video, the witnesses, and the accounts of the police who were there protecting them, these lawmakers who usually wrap themselves in blue are now proudly showing their yellow.
But how?
Lauren Boebert, a once
yellow.
QAnon curious congresswoman, she tweeted on January 6th, today is 1776, which of course signifies revolution and independence. Days before, she also used this rhetoric.
I will carry my firearm in D.C. and in Congress.
During the insurrection, she used her Twitter account to announce to the public, and thereby any insurrectionist who might look, that Speaker Pelosi had been removed from chambers. But in May, during National Police Week, she proclaimed that, quote, Republicans will always back the blue and honor their service. Always being the suspect word there.
Marjorie Taylor Greene of Georgia, actual QAnon curious, she says she didn't vote for the bill because she wouldn't call it an insurrection. She once introduced legislation that awards gold medals to police in Minneapolis and Portland who protect Americans from, quote, Black Lives Matter domestic terrorists. She also said, in the face of this dangerous threat, our men and women in blue have stood strong by defending our streets, protecting storefronts, and restoring order. The heroic action of American law enforcement is the only force standing between us and total anarchy.
So this is John Rose of Tennessee.
Low morale is permeating police departments across our nation as rioters and lawbreakers repeatedly vilify, demonize, and verbally attack the thin blue line. At a time when police forces around the nation are themselves under attack, I want our law enforcement officers to know that I will continue to support the thin blue line.
Except when he doesn't. Rose also declared that, quote, if we do not support our police and stand up to this unprecedented violence, we will lose our democracy. We must use our freedom to defend our freedom, or we will lose our freedom.
And meet Andrew Clyde of Georgia. Even though he actually barricaded the door in the House chamber against rioters, he has a unique take on that experience.
You know, if you didn't know the TV footage was a video from January the 6th, you would actually think it was a normal tourist visit.
Now, Clyde also honored law enforcement during National Police Week. Quote, having worked with law enforcement for over 30 years, I know the risks our brave officers undergo on a daily basis. Thank you to the men and women of the Georgia Police Forces and across our nation for keeping us safe every day. Hashtag back the blue. A tourist visit, he says. Well, here's what one of the officers protecting Clyde's life says.
It was very scary because I thought I was going to lose my life right there.
So Andy Harris of Maryland also voted against the medals. He says he commends the Capitol Police for their actions on January 6th, but calls the awarding of medals a politically charged publicity stunt. Notable, he was a big supporter of Law Enforcement Appreciation Day.
And Jody Heiss of Georgia, he also has recognized the need to honor police heroes, in the past at least. Ditto for Bob Good of Virginia, said proud to stand with law enforcement. And Tom Massey of Kentucky.
He tells CNN that he can't support the medals because the bill calls the attack an insurrection instead of a mob, and that language would affect the court cases of those who mobbed.
Matt Gaetz of Florida, he also says Americans need to stand by police.
I want an America where we support the police, where we utilize every resource available to ensure that they're responsive to their communities, and the overwhelming number of people who wear that uniform, whether it's in our law enforcement or in our National Guard, they do it because they love America and they love Americans, and we need to stand with them.
But all these members voted against the medals, as did Matt Rosendale of Montana, who last month declared that he'd always stand behind law enforcement, the ones who selflessly put their lives on the line to protect his family. Apparently always has limits.
Ooh,
Ralph Moore of South Carolina wrote an op-ed last summer denouncing the left's effort to defund police, declaring that he will, quote, always stand behind our law enforcement agencies and those who serve their communities honorably. There must be a mutual two-way trust. Again, with the always.
Now, Chip Roy of Texas. Here he is just 3 weeks ago.
So I'm proud to stand here with so many of these great friends to stand up in defense of our law enforcement community, stand up in defense of safe streets.
Okay. 3 weeks
Scott
ago.
Perry of Pennsylvania.
All right, Scott. Let's get it.
It is National Police Week, and we're here to not only honor the fallen, but to also honor those who sacrifice every day and every night at any time, in any place, under any conditions for our safety in our communities.
True.
When elected leaders refuse to stand with our law enforcement officers and continue to bend to the whims of violent mobs, we lose our civilization. We lose our civil society.
Again, he voted against the medal, so let's play that last part one more time from Scott Perry of Pennsylvania.
When elected leaders refuse to stand with our law enforcement officers and continue to bend to the whims of violent mobs, we lose our civilization. We lose our civil society.
Also voting against medals for Capitol and D.C. police officers, Warren Davidson of Ohio.
And our law enforcement protect that right. They defend freedom. They protect and defend our communities. They do it heroically with bravery every day, and so often thanklessly. We're right to give them thanks. Good. They put their lives in harm's way.
Okay.
They do it thanklessly, he says. Ain't that the truth? Greg Stubbe of Florida.
Since last summer, members of law enforcement have faced attacks and dangerous rhetoric, even from members of this body. As officers put their lives on the line to protect all of us, our communities, and our families, we have seen nothing but dangerous attempts from the left to defund, dismantle, and disband the police. Even as we stand here today, surrounded by razor wire, National Guard, increased police present to protect you, but you don't want them to protect our citizens.
This is Mary Miller of Illinois.
Heckle and Jekyll behind her.
Democrats are about defunding the police and taking away our Second Amendment rights. Republicans are here to back the blue and the Second Amendment.
Back the police, she voted against the medals.
Okay.
This is Michael Cloud of Texas.
This is outstanding.
We owe it to our hardworking police officers who dedicate their lives to upholding the law, to give them the respect and provide them with the resources, training, and support they need to do their jobs safely and effectively.
They owe police officers respect, says Cloud, who disrespects the very police officers who ensure his safety day after day.
This is amazing.
And then there's Paul Gosar of Arizona.
Okay, let's get it, Paul. Don't be dumb.
I strongly support law enforcement, firmly disavow the groups and individuals funding, enabling, and partaking in mob violence, and call on my colleagues on the other side of the aisle to do the same.
Now, Gosar also has a unique take on the officers protecting the building against his workplace and democracy, while questioning the FBI director yesterday.
Oh, okay.
Director Ray, do you know who executed Ashley Babbitt? Yeah, it's disturbing. The Capitol Police officer that did the shooting, Ashley Babbitt, appeared to be hiding, lying in wait, and he gave no warning before killing her.
Oh.
Now, Babbitt was one of the rioters appearing on video trying to break into the Capitol. Gozar accuses officers of hiding, lying in wait before, quote, executing her.
Oh, I didn't know that they was
And then there's
doing
Barry
that.
Moore
That's
of
what you were
Alabama
talking about,
also
Haynes.
voting against this recognition for police officers. He was grateful for Capitol Police who bravely defended the Capitol back in January, but by June, he was voting against giving them these medals.
And finally, one Louis Gohmert, notorious flamethrower who recently asked the National Forest Service if it's possible to change the moon's orbit to fix the climate crisis. Yes, he said that.
Oh, okay.
He, too, has a unique take on the insurrection.
There's no evidence, as has been said on January 7th, that this was an armed insurrection. Armed meaning with firearms. There were no firearms. There have been things worse than people without any firearms coming into a building.
Look, there is evidence, loads of it. And those people who came into the building threatened the lives of police officers, trampling on them, assaulting them, torturing them. Even though in that same month, Gohmert declared that we must hold law enforcement officers in high esteem.
And these 21 Republicans are voting against these medals for these officers. These officers.
It was very scary.
Show them again.
Because I thought I was going to lose my life right there.
Very scary. He was very scared. Strawberry. Blueberry.
I remember specifically thinking it when I was on the floor. I remember thinking all that stuff like, Byron, this is the day. All those times you've given thought on what you would do, you're doing it.
I have a daughter, and I had a moment where I didn't think that, hey, it was a possibility I might not make it home.
The rioters continued to deploy CS into the rotunda. Officers received a lot of gas exposure, which is worse inside the building than outside because there's nowhere for it to go. I received chemical burns to my face that still have not healed to this day.
Edge is gone.
But here's the thing. Those officers, they'll keep doing their jobs protecting these members of Congress, whether they vote to give them a customary and clearly deserved medal or not, whether they tell the truth about what happened on January 6th or they whitewash it. Turning their backs on the police, they embrace when it serves them politically and discard when it doesn't, proving that for them, blue lives matter until they don't.
Ooh.
Until they don't.
Bars. You see, well, look at the face. Look at the face. Yeah. Until they don't. I've been whoever he is, and good night. That was, man. They hit you with. They did a whole thesis, a term paper. That was a class project. That was a group jump. It's a jump. Man, I ain't never seen nothing like that. That's better than that was like Daily Show level. That was like Last Week Tonight with the little British dude level scrutiny. John Oliver. Amazing. And some of the answers, you gotta wonder, like, these are elected officials who get paid a lot of money, and these are the answers this is the defense that you came up with. And I'm thinking maybe they all should have had the same writers or what do you call that? Strategists? They should, if it's 21 of us, all the reasons should have. Am I reaching? Am I reaching? All the reasons should have been the same. If you want them to be believable, they got to be on the same. You can't sit there and have one dude be like reading from a paper. First of all, if you were to look at the video from January 6th and didn't know that it was January 6th, it would look like a regular tourist visit. Hey, man, listen. That might be the best, worst, dumbass explanation that I've ever heard for anything. For anything. Anything. You would think it was a regular tour. Which video, though? This video of them taking selfies with some of the officers on the inside. Okay, maybe. Videos of them standing in the rotunda and the little fake face off. My man with the horns and my other man with the beard and the flag. Okay, maybe. But what about the other videos? The videos that really are most of what happened. The siege, the window breaking, the fatality. What about those videos? I don't see a regular tourist visit in none of those. Oh, maybe he didn't see those videos. Okay, that's fair. And then to the other people who, one guy, what did he say? You know, I'm all for everything doesn't have to be politicized. You know what I mean? We don't have to reward everybody. And then 2 weeks prior, he like, hey man, law enforcement week, man. Let's get busy, baby. Like what? Y'all should have. It's 21 of y'all. Y'all couldn't have got together and been like, here's what we gonna say. Everybody had a different rationale, and maybe 20 of them were ass. Only one I think you could really do, and that's the one that he probably went to law school, where he was like, I don't agree with it. It was insurrection. So therefore, as such, change the wording, or I can't give it a vote. They do that anyway with other bills. So I could see that one. He probably the one. He the one where you can get away with that. Legalese, as they call it. But let's talk about these officers though, that they, all these I want to hear from the white officers. What do they feel like? Do they feel like their lives were in jeopardy? I want to hear more testimony for those. And I remember it's wild because that's my first time. I've been kind of tuned out today, so I didn't know that they were going after the person that shot whatever the young lady's name is, because I remember watching it and I said, oh, that's a black dude. Oh, he in trouble. I remember that day. I know I'm not alone. A lot of us was like, oh, he shouldn't have done that. I mean, he was doing his job, but he gonna get in trouble for that. And so now all of a sudden it's an issue everybody's trying to figure out was he executed her on a breaking and entering? And then my last guy, he said everybody talking about armed insurrection. They weren't armed. All right, so let you try to get out of an armed robbery charge, saying that, you only had a hammer. You trying to get them peoples up off their money on the street with a hammer. You ain't had no gun. So it can't be armed robbery because you ain't have a firearm. Try that. I took the security class at the job. It's armed, strong armed. The only difference is force and a weapon. It don't say force and a gun. They say force and a weapon. Everybody out that junk was armed. Anytime they beat the man with the once you take the fire extinguisher and not use it to put out fires, it's a weapon. Once you take them barricades and them stanchions and they not barricading or stanchioning, and you beating them police with it, it's a weapon, champ. You're armed. What is y'all on, man? Amazing stuff. This is the day. This is where we at. And Lauren Boebert, talking that big talk. So I keep my peace on me. You you come out that Capitol, you go 3 blocks in a certain direction. You're not doing that. You're not doing that. All that toughness is going out the window. I don't want to hear it. It's absolutely ridiculous. We don't believe you. Tourist visit. 765 Let's Go One. 765 Let's Go One. That's one story of many. Just wanted to put that out to you because that's major news right now. 21 Republicans voted against it, saying and put them on blast. All right, let's go down the hall, Studio G, for immediate fact checking with Mr. Clarkson. What's good?
Hey, what's going on? So
chilling.
Here's some things that are very peculiar about Capitol Police. Since 2001, there have been 250 Black officers that have sued Capitol Police due to unfair practices, which is absolutely insane. Because if the Capitol Police was actually a police department like every other police department in the country, they would lead the league in number of lawsuits done by former employees and even current employees, which makes no sense at all. There's a question that was brought in by Drunken Fruit. What's up, our longtime sponsor? And the Capitol Police Force is 29% African American. And there's like 14% people of color. That's minus black. So we're talking about Latinx, Asian Americans, everything else. So the quick numbers on that is that that any person of color, any non-white person makes up half of the Capitol Police. So now I guess the question is what do these white officers say, seeing that this is happening with the denial or the temporary denial by these 21 Republicans about this? Last but not least, this is not a fact check, but this is kind of a looking back at what happened. It's very peculiar to see that black officer run holding his gun the entire time, because he's clearly thinking about, how do I die today? Which is, do I die at the hands of this mob, or do I pull out my weapon and, in the words of Biggie, squeeze off till empty? And knowing that that would cause the death of his career in the grand scheme of things.
You talking about the one that they were chasing through the hallways?
Yeah, because every now and then when he was running, and for those that carry, there's always the heat check. You always heat check with your strong arm.
I have my opinion on that.
Really?
Anyway, I mean, we've said it before. It didn't look authentic. That wasn't really a chase. He's scampering away, scurrying. I don't know.
You don't think he thought about, man, let me just go ahead and do me?
Man, he dropped his billy club and they waited for him to pick it up. So, I mean,
it's just much on that end for you, huh?
Yeah, it just that one, the way they, and he saved the world because he led him down the wrong hallway. I was like, a little dramatic. I don't know.
Yeah. Craziness.
Yeah, this it's ridiculous, man.
I'm going.
All right, see you in a minute. All right, let's go to the phones. Let's go 765. Let's go one. Welcome to the program. Yellow.
Hello.
Yo.
Yeah, how you doing, Lamont King? This is James Wright. How you doing?
Hey, James Wright. What's good with you?
Yeah. Oh, I love the applause.
Oh, absolute. You earned it.
Yeah. Yeah, the reason I'm calling in is because during the 90s, I was the congressional reporter for the Afro-American newspaper.
Okay.
And I did several stories on the Capitol Hill Police. And let me just say that the Capitol Hill Police is a very, I will say it, racist institution. I understand that the interim chief right now is black. And I understand there's a black female. I know who she is, and she's doing the best she can. But I tell you, that is a very racist institution. You just had Gianni Clarkson talking about the lawsuits against that institution. Those are the lawsuits that have publicly been filed. All the kind of foolishness and nonsense that I wrote about back in the 90s. It's a very, very racist law enforcement institution, and looks like not much has changed, unfortunately. Even though you have some very courageous officers, you talk about the man that led those fools who followed him through the Capitol while being videotaped. Those fools didn't have the sense to realize that people were taping them following a police officer. But also you had the situation where man by the name of David Bailey, who you and I are kind of related to, who helped save the life of Congressman Steve Scalise a few years back.
Okay.
So it's a very, very racist institution.
Wow. All right. Appreciate that insight. That's from an insider. So that's real. Yeah, I appreciate that. And that's kind of if you think about it, not to go back over that, but even watching the video, it seems like some of the officers knew what time it was and some of them didn't.
Mhm.
So knowing
I wouldn't have been surprised.
right. So knowing what you're saying, it's easier. Hearing what you're saying, it's easier to believe that, for lack of a better word, some of them got the memo and some of them didn't. You know what I mean? I can see that.
That's right.
That's believable. So yeah.
And a lot of those, and I'll say it, a lot of those white Capitol police officers, they socialize and with. I wouldn't be surprised if they socialized with with some of those folks who were at the insurrection, and that's what it was. It was an insurrection.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. I appreciate you. Thanks for the call.
Thank you. All right.
I tell you what though, if I'm Capitol Police, one of them, and I'm petty, oh man, you ain't vote for me to get my awards, get my medals, and I see you, and we coming to the lot at the same time, and somebody jimmy in your car door, man, I'm looking the other way, man. I would help you, but I ain't got my medals on me. You know what I'm saying? Nah, man, no protection. I can't do it. All right, let's move on. Here's another interesting one, Wypipo Wednesdays. So guess what they did today, man? Guess what Congress was busy. They was busy. It's official, y'all, I think, or almost. Let's watch this little video. It's a little nugget. The House quickly moved to pass Senate bill making Juneteenth a federal holiday. Yeah. They said one dude had issue with it. He was blocking it, and he just said somebody. When I heard the news story, it was like he folded and voted in favor. I was like, oh, somebody made that call. They was like, all right, out of all the things that you want to do and want to fight for, this ain't that one, fam. Let this one go. He was talking about what he said. I can't remember who it was, but he was saying how that day off is going to be, taxpayer dollars and millions of dollars of taxpayer money paying for, time off. And I was like, oh, that's not, you don't want to start that conversation. Oh, you don't want to start that, my man. You don't, that's the last convo you want to start, champ. So there it is, y'all. Apparently it's a holiday. From now moving forward, I don't know all the ins and outs. Let's see. Let's read along. Let's see.
We come to celebrate, to embrace our history, to learn of our past, and to be able to move forward in unity. contributed to the greatness of this country.
Oh, I think I was froze. I don't even know if y'all can hear me. I'm back. Yeah, so I saw the debate raging on Twitter, and people weren't really in favor of it. They was like, it's pandering, and we don't need that. Out of all things we need, that ain't one of them. Don't come trying to give me this all late. And if it's not going to be as big as 4th of July, don't waste your time. So I seen that. So I wanted your thoughts on that. 765 Let's Go 1, 765 Let's Go 1. Making Juneteenth a federal holiday, does that make a difference for you? Does that do anything for you? Or is this just another, little move to settle us down? You know what I'm saying? There's a new pledge coming. Do we got a new pledge coming? If white folks don't honor and acknowledge Juneteenth on that day, are they being unpatriotic? These are questions. You see what I'm saying? These are questions. I'm just curious. Jump on the show if you want. All right, let's go down the hall real quick. Go back to it. What you thinking? What you thinking about?
There's a bar in New Orleans called The Boot, and they have 3-for-1 drinks. And in ideology, it sounds great, but we all know that those drinks are going to be watered down to make you feel good, that you got three drinks for the cost of one.
Right.
This passing of Juneteenth is the 3-for-1. It makes no sense, and it doesn't move the needle. First of all, no one asked Juneteenth to be a federal holiday. If anything, what should be a federal holiday is the voting. It happens once every 4 years. It guarantees the fact that everyone has the ability to vote because it's a federal holiday, and those people can still be paid for it. Who cares if it's a federal holiday if it's still missing an over 90%, and probably a larger number than that, of school curriculums throughout the country? And there's 4 states that don't even recognize it, even though it's a federal holiday. So that definitely means that's not in their school curriculum, just like Reconstruction is a very much so passed over. So it doesn't matter. It literally just doesn't matter. It's going to be, unfortunately, another holiday that Target is going to make clever T-shirts for.
Oh yeah, whole section. They got a whole section.
They'll buy, and then once it's over with, they'll package it up and they'll throw it all away. So I'm not really excited about it, and I honestly don't think it's going to pass in the House.
You don't think so?
No, I don't.
Well, if they're not giving medals to the people doing their job, then hell no, probably not.
Yeah, I mean, like the day that we all wanted was the voting. We wanted Super Tuesday to be that holiday. But like it's one day every 4 years. I don't really think with regular consistency that people are going to celebrate Juneteenth, and it's going to be watered down. I think it's just going to be viewed as another day off, and that's why it's going to lose its power. Like people don't. I hate to say it, that Juneteenth might be on the same ship that Martin Luther King Day is on currently.
But that's not a bad day, because now it's a day of service. So here's
for us, it's a day of service.
So let's flip it. So Martin Luther King Day is a day of service. It's the little nickname. So Juneteenth should now become a day of servitude, where you know what I'm saying, where you got the role play situation is going on. You got a day off, but it's a day on, young fella. And they got to, we got to go through that little role playing for 24 hours. What's the new joint? The Forever Purge?
I mean,
a day of servitude. Switch it up.
But you know what? Now that I've said this out loud, give me that statement back. I honestly do think it's going to wind up passing in the House. Give me that.
Oh yeah.
I think it's going to wind up passing that in the House, because I'm now doing the votes. Everyone in California will vote for it. New York will vote for it. larger. It's going to look very much so like a presidential election vote. It's going to pass with no problems, but it's going to be half-hearted until there's a scholastic restructuring of social studies curriculum where it gets taught. So,
but you know what's gonna be funny when you start hearing like the stuff we used to say, like I ain't celebrating no white man holiday. When you start, when we was young, you know what I'm saying? When you start hearing them say, man, I ain't celebrating no black holiday.
You're saying black.
Oh, that's gonna be hilarious.
They gonna straight up say, I ain't celebrating that nigga holiday.
Yeah, absolutely.
Coming.
Yeah.
It's
oh man, that's gonna be hilarious.
because I mean, I can honestly see, I don't see it being celebrated in Houma, Louisiana, in Orange, Texas.
No.
Hell, I barely see it celebrated outside of Galveston, Texas.
Yeah, right. In a real way.
In a real way, without somebody being like white. There's too many places where the Confederate flag is cool.
Yeah.
So I don't see it happening. I don't see it happening.
All right, so let's get an update on your let me do this.
Okay.
This is fine time for me to let me do this. Hold on. In case you missed, I need some music for this. I gotta remix this.
I like the graphic.
Yeah.
I like the graphic. I definitely like the graphic. I
need some music, yeah. Put that together myself. So in case you missed it, on Monday you told us that you had a bit of a kerfuffle.
Yeah.
Bit of an issue at the job, man. What?
Yeah, I need gallery family and friends. I need your help. So this is what happened, right? This past weekend, my school decided to do a cookout event, and we did it as a bonding event for the young men at our school. Many young men at our school, of course, single parent homes being raised by women. We wanted to create a culture of guys being around the grill. I grew up, I can probably speak for Lamont as well, that you grew up around the grill, and that's where you got that good sage advice. You learned how to cook. So I wanted to kind of bring that experience to the young men at my place of employment. Everyone had a great time. We took pictures. Shout out to the organization I'm a part of, the fraternity that I'm part of, that also joined on the fun as well too. So when I came back, there were little chit chats, little murmurings in the building, and I'm trying to figure out what's going. That's actually somebody from my job right now, but it's not.
Still complaining. Still complaining.
But what wind up happening is that from a population of women, and also a population of women inside of my professional circles, they were like, that activity was really sexist. It was not inclusive. It encouraged gender roles. It was mad problematic, and that I wasn't really helping the men grow up the way that I thought I was. It was really so. I try to explain, because sometimes I want to see where you're coming from to see where you're going. I explained how I grew up and what it did for me. So I'm sorry, I'm laughing at behind the scenes. So I sat up there and I was like, yo, what is this about? So I tried to explain, like, listen, this is how our culture is built. I don't dip into how you nurture, build, and encourage young ladies.
Oh, that's heavy.
On that side of the ball, because I trust how you're running that offense. So don't come over here talking to me about my playbook and how we run things on my side of the ball. Like, sometimes what I have to do is what I have to do. Then, as the conversation got a little heated, I did say something that was a little mean, and I meant it, which was, I said, you complain about them being trifling and no good anything else. But when they run up on your daughter and they're trifling and no good, remember this moment when I try to do my part.
All right, we're going to bring an extra level of scrutiny and scorn from our New York Bureau Chief, John Watson. Welcome to the program. Good to see you, fam. Yeah, yes. Slow clap.
Who's the slow clap for?
For that retort.
Yo!
That response.
And y'all know me well enough. That's not in my nature to talk like that. But if I'm pushed, okay, but yeah, the grime level just went through the roof. So
I need some before you I forgot the word. Pontificate.
Pontificate. That's what you look.
Yeah. I 765. Let's go on. I want to see if I can get someone. I just want to see if I can get someone that would agree with the criticisms that from his coworkers. Just someone to agree.
Lamont.
Yeah,
I'm gonna need you to really get this Magic Johnson lob when I ask this question. Because my follow-up is gonna be crucial.
Well, there are other people that throw better lobs. I don't know if I want to get a Magic Johnson.
I'm just. Oh, geez, come on. Pre-91.
Okay. All right.
What was the ethnicity of the young lady questioning your methods?
We were the same.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Now,
I was gonna say.
You thought otherwise?
I mean,
no way.
No
way.
I don't know, because that's just,
Unfortunately, and I'll take the scorn for this. Unfortunately, there's only one that would have had the balls to do that.
And
there's only one.
And you know what's gonna make? You know what? I'll take the heat off of you, bro. I'll make it even more comfortable here. There was a woman who was definitely the opposite of me, who celebrated this and said, I think that if there were more events like this in my community, many of the young men that I have seen would not be so lost.
Yeah. That's real. Yeah.
Okay.
So here's my question: how many of these professional educators, cohorts of yours, how many actually expressed scrutiny? How many? Was it more than 2?
No, it's definitely more than 2.
Age range?
Age range?
I love this. So we're going
demographics.
Going age range between 25 to 35. 100%, and I'm only giving these as demographics, not as scrutiny. 100% of them are non-married. 40% of them with children. 15% of them having more than one child.
Okay, I'll take those last 2 off.
Right.
I'll take those off.
And I'm just putting it out there.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask a question that has no merit whatsoever, but just for my own personal whatever.
Yeah, what they look
on a scale of 1 to 10.
I knew that was coming. What they look like.
What they hitting for? Like what they hitting for on a scale of 1 to 10? And like
as surface as that sounds. As surface as that sounds and superficial, I mean that's real.
Yeah, because it's part of it. So I'm just asking, we talking about a couple 3s getting mad at you, or a couple like 7s or 8s. Like, what are we talking about here? Because
But here's the bigger issue. Like, and not to make this too serious, but like we have been, Black women and men have been pitted against each other by external forces for so long.
Correct.
It's a part of the programming. So now that it's a part of the programming, we buy into all the societal stuff and just layer it on. The whole gender role argument that we talk about often on this program.
Right.
And the whole, wait a minute, but what about me? What about me? What about us? And how come this? And we can't, why can't we? Not focusing on the real issue. All right, we are here, Black men, young Black boys are in disrepair.
Right.
This an event to help repair that. It's not saying you can't get repaired as well, but this one right here is for Black boys.
Ooh, you know what they did? They low key all lives mattered you, yo.
They did, yeah. That's it. That's it. Yeah.
And that
all grills matter.
Right.
All grills matter. And
no, they went further. They all meat mattered you. They said all meat matter. That's what they said.
You were going me too, and they said, what about me?
Yeah.
What about me?
They said meat too is what they said. Yeah.
I think what concerns me,
what concerns me the most is that, like, yo, this is supposed to help build community. And what you're doing is having a conversation that destructs that. And I don't think you understand. You ask me to lead, but then you want to write the playbook of how I lead. And it's like,
well, here's an easy solve. Here's an easy fix for you. As a just schedule one for the girls. But the school year's over, so then there's
it's tomorrow.
Send out an email tonight.
Yeah, it's tomorrow.
We're doing it tomorrow. We'll do it tomorrow. It's a concession.
Yeah,
and mind you, for everybody watching, we reached out to some of them for comment, and they all declined. So we tried to get them
very true.
Yeah, they didn't want to come on the show.
Yeah, because I was like, and even when I tried to bring other guys in and say, well, let's talk about it. Well, I don't understand what I have to explain. If you don't get it, you don't get it. I said, well, clearly I don't get it. So talk to me about it. You believe that something was done wrong here today or done wrong over the weekend. I'm all for that. Just explain why. But what I think is, and I think you hit on the head earlier, is that it's the desire to be in conflict even when we should be at peace. And I'm wondering, why is that? Why is peace so unsettling to your spirit?
Look at them over there enjoying themselves, having brotherhood and fellowship.
Yeah, right.
What they over there grilling burgers with they
teaching them
young boys something. Like I can't teach them young boys that.
Right.
I got a son. My son know how to do it.
That's the one.
You don't need no man to do that.
That's the one.
And we're the girls. How come there's no girls here? How they having boy exclusive stuff?
Why they not? Nah, look.
All that happened, and then they go, "Hey, Mr. Clarkson, let me talk to you for a second."
Like, well, why? Look, and it's somebody real dumb. How come they not teaching the girls how to be men? All right, let's go to the phone.
Oh,
that was too far. That was too far.
No, it wasn't so.
Yeah. All right, let's go to the phones. Welcome to the program. Let's go live. Who's this?
It's Tina. Hello, gentlemen. How are you?
Hey.
Hello, lady.
Hello. I had a question for Mr. Clarkson. How long did these women know about the event, and did they have enough time to put in their input? I'm just asking because it seems
great question.
Maybe they just wanted to be angry, but I just want to know how long did they know about it?
Great question. So we planned the event for about 2.5 weeks, sent flyers out to the high school community and also to families and, of course, partners of the building as well, too. So everyone knew about it. And it was inside of all of the morning announcements and closing day announcements. So everyone knew about it. It also was a featured event as part of our school's open house as well, too. So it was really great because many families dropped their boys over to our section. And, we had them, we were, showing them how to season stuff. I was showing them, like how to use a, potential smoker. Like it was a lot of really good stuff that was happening because, part of teaching is building relationships. Kids don't care what you know until they know that you care. So what I was trying to do was build those relationships so that when we're having a tough moment, we can always go back to that Saturday when me and Mr. Clarkson was kicking it on the grill. So he actually does care about me, even though I don't really have a favorable opinion of him right now.
Now, since you did the marketing and promotion, it was open to the public per se? Like women and girls were invited, but the program was for boys.
Right. Now,
so they could be there. They could be there, right?
Right. So, yes, absolutely. Now, in all fairness, all boy.
Who get money? Who get money?
That thing is something else in my ear, man. You
getting that money?
You about to give me a seizure, fam. That joint is so loud in my headphones.
I'm sorry.
Somebody getting money.
My bad.
I hear that joint. I go like this. I go, remember the hair test? Like, ding. Like,
my bad. It's a good financial news. We'll
okay.
We have to do a production meeting after this because I got an idea that So anyway, all that to say is that my school community has a cooking club that includes both boys and girls. So that's one off. There is a girls program where they do a series of various things as well too. those programs are not open to boys. Those programs are solely open to girls. And the boys don't have any problems with it, nor do the men in the building. You know, it's not my lane.
Another question: was it the young ladies that said something, or was it their parents that said something?
No young ladies at my school had anything to say about it.
It was his colleagues. It wasn't even the
It was
parents.
all
It was
my
the colleagues, right?
Women teachers.
Oh, it was so that's my issue. My issue is that they had ample time to have input and have something in conjunction with that function. So I just feel like they wanted to be mad. Some people like to live in a state of anger and negative energy. So I just think that, you was like the nearest target. It just was a waste of energy. That's why I wanted to know.
Look at him over there tying ties and shining shoes.
Yeah.
How y'all just gonna be sitting there doing boy stuff? Where the girls at? Mr. Clark, let me holler at you for a second.
Now, you know what it was? Now that I realized it was just teachers, you know what it was? It was too good of an idea. They mad they didn't come up with it. That's what it was.
Oh, God.
Yeah, they're mad because it's the end of the year and you programmed a home run at the end of the year. And they were like, God damn it. Mr. Clark always
over there working on the weekend.
Yeah, right. Working on the weekend at school? Like, that's a nowhere.
Nerve of this cat.
Yeah,
Mr. Clark, let me holler at you for a second.
Yeah.
I guess that's sad because it's like, I've said this too. I've said this to Black women who try to have these difficult conversations with me. I tell them all the time, I'm not an accomplice in your agenda. Let me be real clear. I'm not an ally in your agenda. I'm an accomplice, meaning that I'm here to help you rob this bank of injustice that's happening against you. Because an ally would just stand by the side and hope things go well for you. I desire things to go well for you, and I want.
You read that somewhere?
Huh?
You read that? Where'd you read that?
No,
you
I'm being
read
very
that?
serious. No, this is actually a talking point of mine.
Yeah, I was just telling you.
Listen, Lamont, where'd you read that? Oh, it's in a fabulous book. I wrote it.
Yeah.
But I'm serious is that when we're in,
It's called Black fragility.
But when we're
Clarkson.
No, but when we're in constant competition with one another, nobody wins. So I'm saying, like, listen, if we're on the same team, which is we're all part of lifting the culture, you see what I'm doing and go, I see what you're doing and go, like, we can't have like these.
But see, here's the elephant in the room.
Okay.
Right? We need gender roles because as long as we have genders, you need gender roles. But if you don't have genders, there's no need for the roles. That's where we're going. That's what the direction. You don't have genders, there's no need for the roles. So that's where the conflict comes. That's just
nobody wins when the family feuds.
That's what I'm saying. Like, nobody wins.
Exactly.
Terrible.
Oh man, I wish somebody would have called agreeing with the dissent, but that's one of those things where it's like how could you be mad at that? Like, what are you thinking? Are you kidding?
First they take down the pink and blue section in the toy section at Target.
Oh,
now this. Y'all can't have men's grilling classes.
No, but I mean, I guess what it is that we're always big in school culture of this word safe space. Our boys need a safe space, and I love my mom, but there's conversations I can't have with her because she's never been a Black man before. So I'm gonna automatically default to my father. Many of our young men are growing up in school cultures, don't have that to default to. So if someone's building that, what's your complaint?
What's the percentage of male students at your school? Just out of curiosity, like.
So male students make up, let's say, probably 45%.
Okay,
and
so
we have no our mixture of students are Black or are Latino.
And male teachers of ethnicity.
So male teachers of ethnicity, we're leaning more so like 98% Black or Black or Latinx and 2% white.
Okay. Side note, Lamont.
Side note, Kennard says that your bars are 100% stolen.
That's
So I
fine.
just
I'll
wanted-
hey, that's fine. I'll take it. I'll take it.
Hey! All right. One last story, and then we out of here. So this is funny. I need y'all on this one. And y'all seen the Hunter Biden situation, right? The Hunter Biden.
Boy.
Yeah, this is actually, it's funny to me. I just wanna. So apparently, he's in the news. Hunter Biden. Let me get this arranged right. All right. Here's the headline. This is from The Root. It's more of an opinion piece, but some of his messages got exposed for whatever reason. I won't go into all the details. But apparently someone got a hold of text messages between Hunter Biden and Chicago-based lawyer George Messerez, which were found on, remember he lost the laptop and was trying to get it back and everybody was like, uh-oh.
Uh-huh.
But they had some old conversations on there with him, dropping the N-bomb. So he's talking, one of the conversations that they put out this week, he's talking to his lawyer and he says, how much money do I owe you? This is December 13th, 2018, before adding, because nigga, you better not be charging me Hennessy. I don't care who you are. That is funny right there.
Wait, is Messerez is a white dude?
Yeah, or something.
Oh, that's
yes.
funny.
Yes.
That's funny.
That is hilarious.
You know what? Unpopular opinion. I'll allow it if dude is a white. If his man is a white dude.
And it's not even, here's the thing. So the article, this particular opinion piece is going on about how the Republicans are really beside themselves trying to, paint this picture because they have nothing else to be focused on and be like, he's got to, if this was Eric Trump or Donald Trump Jr., they'd have had his head on, blah, blah, blah. And but because it's, the Democratic president's son and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like,
if this was Eric Trump, it wouldn't be a shocker.
That's well, one, there's that. So we know he says it
Right.
and it's with vitriol. But this shows me, even today, and y'all can find this article on The Root, it's on the front page, but they're showing the tweets of some of the people who are in outrage this week trying to, off with his head or whatever. But it just goes to show, and this is a abstract take on this. It just goes to show that they still don't understand the proper usage of the word,
which is
because he actually used it correctly.
He nailed it. He nailed it.
That's exactly what he meant.
Nigga, you better be charging me Hennessy. Right?
He literally nailed it.
Oh, jeez.
It only is fantastic if his man if the other guy is a white guy. That makes it like
super. I know he's something. He's not another.
No.
He's that's George Messerez or whatever. But and so they go back and forth. There's other parts of the conversation that get a little more gritty or whatever. But again, like, come on, man. You ain't catch him at he ain't Chet Hanks in it. You ain't catch him at the
this is fantastic.
Club lip syncing to his favorite song. And the nigga, you ain't doing that.
George R. Messerez of
yes,
Chicago.
I'm up here reading another one that he dropped.
No.
Hold on, you go.
Hold on a second. One second.
What is it? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
You see there's a reason why you can't see him in the light?
Reason why you can't see him. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? There you go.
That makes it even better. Hey, that's Stabler from Law and Order.
Right.
That's even better.
That's even better. Detective Stabler gets called the N-word. Here's another text message that they have. George is apparently talking to Bo. This is George.
Hunter. Bo's deceased. Hunter.
Thank you, Hunter. Hunter. George is talking to Hunter. Their ideas of this is George. There are ideas of unconditional love that serve as proxies. I don't have many. Hunter. Oh my God, nigga. Did you just this is the actual text.
That's exactly how he sounded.
Can I get a retake on this and lights? Thank you. Rolling sound.
All right.
There are
and action.
George. There are ideas of unconditional love that serve as proxy. I don't have many. Hunter. Oh my God, nigga. Did you just have a fictional character from the imagination of that collective frightening? And my dad, like he's going off using this. And I'm like, yo, this is hilarious.
Yeah.
What's funny is this is the AV guy at every hotel I've ever worked at. He's calling him the N-word. This is every AV guy. This is the guy that comes in and is like, oh, we're gonna need a splitter and we're gonna need to route the sound and a mott box or whatever, you know what I mean? A malt box.
Wait a minute, go back. Let's see. Let's see the picture. You froze.
Yeah.
That's also every Chick-fil-A regional manager. That's my pleasure, nigga. That's him.
But see, he's on the receiving end, so it's like calling him.
Oh yeah,
you know
yeah.
He calling him is like it's like him.
Yeah.
He's also the guy that
All right, put it up. Show it again. He's also who?
George. We hate to tell you this, but all the Payless stores are closing, and you can no longer be a manager. Nigga, why you crying, fam? Like, why you crying? You get another job.
I think the only thing that he could have said to Lamont, where your button at? The only thing he could have said to Hunter Biden in this court was the only thing he could have possibly said in response to Hunter.
You better shut your white mouth. I'm not kidding you.
His nickname is Chip. That's funny.
Yeah. That's I'll allow it. Hunter Biden. Now, Hunter Biden, if you're watching this, don't ever do that shit again.
Cut it out. Knock it off.
Stop. We don't accept. We don't accept it. That shit was funny.
It was pretty hilarious. That's pretty funny.
All right, there's that. All right, gentlemen, appreciate it. Good to see y'all as always.
Don't talk about that money wheel.
Right here. Yeah, the money wheel. What's today? Oh, it's zero.
Oh,
yeah, it's zero. Remember, we had the big bash on Friday.
Like the money wheel bash. Money wheel
so,
bottomed out.
Yeah, let's see here.
I'll get
here
out
it is.
play.
No, you go. Let's see.
Okay.
Oh, whatever. Yeah, that's it.
Jeez. You don't even have enough money for an actual wheel.
But it's zero. I think somebody put $10 on there, but it won't show up. So
okay.
Yeah. That's refreshing. Yeah, we ain't got time for that. So anyway, there's that. But the money wheel, put the cash app up. So Friday's all fun and games, and we'll do that. But gentlemen, yes, we got to make time for rolling too. So I'll see y'all in a minute. All right, so let me put this real quick before we go. Let me find this. Here is the Cash App. Hey, great show, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for the callers who called in. Everybody who participated. Here's the Cash App right here. Let's Go Live Show. $5 a slot. Let me know. But you got to say slots or pots because when people say for the wheel and they put it in, I'm assuming you want to put in on the kitty. You got to say the number of slots that you want with your money. Please remember that, okay? Other than that, man, y'all be safe, man. Watch the news a little bit. Trade some crypto. Binge watch your favorite mindless programming. And I'll see y'all next time. Hit the likes on the way out. Share this on your social media timelines. And do that. Tell everybody about all the fun you had. All right? Yeah. Who is that banging upstairs? Can y'all hear that? That's crazy. What are you doing?
I don't care if it is a closet. You still looking mad official.